Okay. Well, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't selected, but okay. Fixed it, so everything I just said is dog shit. There's no one here, so that's fine. A couple things I did want to talk about was TikTok and AI. Unrelated. The interesting thing is everyone is leaving, because the TikTok ban, everyone's doing this mass exodus to Rednote. And, okay, I mean, I'm looking at it from the perspective of someone that's on Rednote in China, right? That's their daily thing. And they're used to the content that's there, and the style, and the way, and the priorities. And it's a different realm than over in the US, right? Because of certain things that we as citizens prioritize. And a shitload of people on TikTok are like, oh yeah, don't it's okay if we leave this TikTok because we're just gonna all go to Rednote. So putting it from the perspective of a normal Chinese person that's on Rednote, and then they just scroll through and they see this American dog shit. Look, bro, most of the content that we make on TikTok, I don't want to disparage the people that are actually really creative, making skits, all this stuff. That's all fine and dandy, a lot of it, right? But the vast majority of content that's on TikTok is filler trash. I'm not saying that's everybody. There are people that make funny, interesting skits. There are people that have open-ended discussions and, make videos responding to comments and this, that, and the other. Holy shit, that's great, cool, and everything. But when I say that the majority of content on TikTok is dog shit, it's just algorithm fodder. People are uploading stolen clips, copyrighted clips, all this shit. It's the vast majority of the shit that you find on there is trash. And then especially when the TikTok shop opened up for so many people, every other video is a fucking ad. And if it's not, you'll have a serious video, but they're still trying to sell you something, which of course I get. I get, especially in this economy, I'm not disparaging people for fucking doing their hustle, but I'm just pointing out reality. That's it. It's hey, go ahead and do your thing, but come on, really, man? There are a bunch of people that have gotten a bunch of backlash for having a serious video, but then there's a sell link in it, especially if there's something that's going viral, or if you yourself as a creator have increased momentum at a particular given time, and then you want to sell some shit with it. And then there's another thing too is there's that clout chasing. Now, I haven't been on Rednote, and I can't speak Chinese, so I don't have a first person perspective of how the Rednote app is compared to what we have. I just have the anecdotes that I've heard that it's a very different environment, and it kind of promotes more. It promotes more. It promotes things differently than we do here in the States. Well, in the States, we basically the goal is clout. The goal is fame, right? And to do that by any means necessary. And that's kind of why a lot of the content that especially short form content that we push out is such trash. I mean, let's take a look back at YouTube. YouTube, man, people wanted to get super famous. They wanted to get, because that was before the fucking money. It was just the fame. And people the prank channels came on. And yeah, a lot of them were fake, but then there are the ones that aren't, because you get people that watch the fake prank channels and they're like, oh man, these videos are going crazy. I should do pranks. And a lot of them fucking, bless their smooth brain souls, don't realize that the video is fucking fake to begin with. So they go out and do real fucking pranks. There was that one where that guy was in a mall fucking with some guy, doing prank, and the guy fucking shot him. And it's I mean, what do you fucking expect, bro? I mean, kind of a fucking insane reaction, but it's it's kind of like the shit with Luigi. It's holy shit, that's intense. I mean, it's bad. It's very bad, but really, it's those vibes. So, people going from TikTok, US TikTok, going into Rednote, shilling their dog shit content. Not saying all of it is, remember, but the vast majority of content on American TikTok is fucking garbage. And they're going to take that same content and fucking fill it with Rednote. And then you're going to get all these Chinese people that are going to get fucking irritated that they have all these fucking idiot foreigners doing all this stupid shit, but you know. And that's the thing. It's like I feel like it's ultimately going to make us look bad, you know, because that's our representation. So on the one side of it, though, I actually think it's really fucking cool that people are going to Red Note. You know, they're going for, come on, let's face it, they're going to Red Note because they want to keep up the fame. They want the attention. They want to be able to continue to monetize their lives because the economy here sucks. So I totally get it. They're going to Red Note, but they're finally actually seeing China for China, you know, instead of just what the media tells us or what the administration tells us. It's a better glimpse into the society of China as a whole. But the downside is that enough people think everything on the internet's real, or they don't. How do I explain this? Fuck. I mean, how do I explain this and how do I say this properly? Oh my god! I literally have. Red Note. I'm sorry. I had this mental typo, and then I'm trying to backtrack to make sure I'm saying shit right, and then I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Red Note. This is killing me. It's like I wish I could just kind of go back. No. Just truck on. People going to Red Note and seeing China and thinking, oh, that's 100% how China is. You gotta understand that the Chinese government essentially controls the media. Like, they really do have a stranglehold in what is allowed. Like, there's not, like, the freedom of speech that we know it in America, they do not have that in China. And people in America were so used to our freedom of speech and, you know, freedom of expression. We're so used to the ironcladness of the First Amendment that if we take that and try to make content with that in mind on a platform in a country where they don't have the same freedoms, you know, it's like they're going to be in for a rude awakening. So, but, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the aftermath. I mean, it's the same opinion that I have with the fires in California. Like, as tragic as that is, and my heart goes out and anything that you could say about that, I'm most interested in seeing the response once the dust has settled, and, you know, who's really going to profit and take advantage of the opportunity that's been laid before them with the fires just sweeping. But yeah, so the thing with TikTok is I would recommend, if anyone goes on and watches, but it's the whole don't buy anything right now from the TikTok shop. I mean, if it's about to be banned, like the app itself, when a lot of us don't know what that means. I mean, does that mean that the servers are going to still be running, or are they going to fucking cut the servers once it's banned? Pretty sure they'll probably keep it going. They'll probably, because the app you can still have, you just can't download it again. Are you staying neutral in all this Israel versus Palestine thing? Like, yes and no at the same time. On a human level, I'm just disgusted by and large as a whole, but ultimately I just don't give a shit. And I don't say that to be mean, I don't say it to be cruel, it's just I'm sick of my fucking tax dollars going over to that conflict zone just for more conflict to be created. And, you know, Israel has a right to exist, Palestine has a right to exist, but they fucking hate each other, and thanks to the fucking two-state solution, that's where they're at, and it fucking sucks. Okay, thank you, I'm a grandmother, and you're a very sincere and honest young man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, it's like, it's war, man. You choose sides in war. I mean, I can have an opinion about each side, but am I going to choose which side I would prefer? No, I dislike them both equally. Because it's like, come on, let's face facts, man. It's like, it's needless. War is such a needless thing, and it's all done by people above us. We're people that are on the bottom of the rung. We're the ones that actually, suffer. So the only downside is you have entire populations that are indoctrinated to hate one another. My two sons are fighting on opposite sides of this. Interesting. That sucks. Having been in the military myself, I would support my kids going into the military, but of course I would feel some type of way, But it did a lot of good for me, but it also did a lot of bad, very bittersweet. But I think mainly the most of the bitter part of it came from my MOS. But is what it is. But yeah, so that's just how it is. Like, I wish that they would kind of figure their shit out and live in harmony, but it's probably not gonna happen. So they could fucking destroy each other into fucking rubble for all I care. I will say that Israel has a right to defend itself, 110%. But I think they have gone a bit fucking overkill. Like, let's be fucking real. Sorry, I'm trying not to curse as much today because I kind of went through my VOD from yesterday, and I don't know, I think it's coming off more, and I don't, like, looking back, I don't like the way it looks, but it's so ingrained in my language. No, you're good. I'm, like, literally, this is, I don't hang out with a lot of people in real life. This is, like, just my way of, like, being social and interacting with the world and not staying in my own head and whatnot. So y'all do your thing, man. I don't know how I made you feel better, but your grandmother's a lucky woman. Yeah, they're both dead. But yes, my grandmother Joan, she was a saint. Love her so much. I'm really glad that I spent the time that I did, before she passed. Like, she was the best. I am one son. Oh, okay. I'm starting to feel we got some trolls now. Welcome. Yeah, but no, the TikTok thing, I just think it's interesting because you're gonna have all these Americans go into the Chinese version of the app and piss off. Oh no, when I die, I'll either see them again, or I'll see fire and brimstone, or I won't experience anything because there's an absence of existence. Who knows? I don't know what the answer is. So when I die, we'll know. It's the unknowable. But So everyone on TikTok is we love forever. That is true, man. Like, it's been years since my grandmother passed. She passed in 2015. Yeah, 2015. 2015, man. 20... Fuck, now I got... God damn it. I can pinpoint the exact year. It's just my brain sucks. My middle child was born in 2016. My grandma died before she got pregnant. Was it 16 or 15? Fuck, I'm pretty sure it was... Sorry. Well, that's the hope, right? That we die and our soul goes somewhere, The fuck was that? Sorry. I'm trying to clean up, well, the big part of, like, me trying to clean up my language is I got a 3-year-old, and he's doing the thing where you say something and he says the exact same thing, and it's like he's increasing his linguistic skills. So I'm trying really hard, at least around the house, not to curse, but I feel like when I come on here, I'm far too comfortable and allow myself to swear. I love swearing. I think it's great. It's colorful. It adds flavor to fucking language. But it also makes you look uneducated from a certain perspective, So I also get that. So I'm trying to hamper it down. So if you all want to call me out when I slip, by all means. Should I get an Italian hoagie or an American cheese and bologna hoagie? Go for Italian, man. I only like American cheese when it's like on a burger, like it's melted. For some reason, I'm not a fan of it cold. The brain and taste buds are strange. Bologna, I didn't mind as a kid, but then for some reason, like when I got older, it's like I don't like it. But I love freaking hot dogs, and it's basically the same thing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Italian hoagie. Get yourself some red wine vinegar, some olive oil, all that jazz, man. Red onions. Some pickled peppers on that bad boy. That sounds good, man. Damn. I mean, I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so it's like that does sound pretty damn good right now. Anyway, yeah. So like, I started off with the whole TikTok thing, and it's like, I mean, like I'm ultimately of the thing of good riddance. I do understand that TikTok did a lot of good for a lot of people. There are people that had like they used it as a means to like connect with the world. Some used it as a way to inflate their own egos and chase clout. Some people used it to, generate income with small businesses. Some people used it as just an opportunity to, help pirate software. One of the things I really didn't like about TikTok was the fact that there was like, on YouTube we have Content ID, and we have a lot of issues with Content ID and rights holders and stuff, and for some creators that are doing the fair use right thing, it makes it very difficult for them to do what legally they can do. Whereas on TikTok, it doesn't matter. There's no Content ID. People rip and post videos of other people all the time, pretending to be other people, run scams, all this shit. And the moderation on TikTok is terrible. It's kind of like, almost reminds me of Twitter. There's little to no actual moderation. It's like, I mean, I guess Twitter in the last like 3 months, I've noticed it getting a little tighter, because I don't know if this is considered cursing because it's just the phrase. I like to shit post from time to time, because I don't take things too seriously. But I have noticed, like, more flags being come up on certain content, and it's contextual usually. Well, it's not contextual. Basically, it flags certain keywords or phrases, but without looking at the whole of the context of the text in relation to whatever it's being replied to. So maybe if it could, be a little bit more contextually aware of things outside of just what's on a list of phrases, it'd probably be a little bit better. But I'm assuming that the content moderation on Twitter's being improved. But the downside is it's just in terms of like moderating like sour vitriol speech, as opposed to truly bad, harmful content. Because man, it's like every time I go on Twitter, I want to like check out the news. I usually just go straight to the like the magnifying glass. I go to trending, I go to search, I see what's going on in the world, see what people are talking about. That's essentially like how I go about it, right? But my feed, my For You page, and even like my following page, it's like, it's whatever. I like to see the random stuff, but so the For You page, it's like, you would think it's like an algorithm that's tailored to the things you like, but for me, it never is. There are some times I do see things that I like, but most of the times I don't, which sucks. Today, though, most of my feed is a lot of people talking about I get distracted far too easily. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. So Disney released the trailer for Daredevil Born Again. Didn't they announce that like 4 years ago? I do know that like it's one of the things that I'm this all right, so this is I'm gonna grind my gears a little bit about this. Let's talk about entertainment, right? So entertainment, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Like, who cares? Things come out when they come out, right? But we can still have opinions on it. Because I remember years ago, like, let's take a look at The Walking Dead, for example. Aside from the first season, each season was 16 episodes. Hated the way that they kind of, like, had these bottle episodes, these filler episodes that kind of pad out runtime and stuff. I feel like even having that, they could have probably, like, maybe wrote it a better way. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the weeds on that. But anyway, I used to love watching The Walking Dead, and then it turned into the whole sunk cost fallacy where it's not what you remember it was, but you want to see what happens to these characters because you care about these characters, right? And that's how it used to be. And then COVID happened, obviously. Big shutdown, put a lot of things on hold. And then, what else happened? The writer strikes and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of things at least in the American television entertainment world, that kind of like hampered production, right? But then what have I noticed over time is that seasons are getting shorter. They're taking longer to come out. And I'm like, we used to like run on a pretty well-refined machine where we were on average, most shows we probably would wait 2 years between seasons, which we would kind of expect for things that were more high profile, Stop noticing all these preposterous distractions, conscious mind. You just did it. Welcome back. But yeah, for real though. Yeah, it's like, that's how it was. We were used to kind of how it was. On average, most shows would be on a good rotating schedule. We would get our new show once a year, right? Movies that require bigger budgets, bigger productions, and then also a stretch of marketing, it makes sense for those to take a while as well. But then it got to the point where, like, Severance came out 4 or 5 years ago? Like, Severance came out, season 1 came out a while ago, and we're just now getting season 2. Which is fine. Not the end of the world. But there's a lot of shows that are, like, I just figured that it wasn't coming back, And then there are other shows that were actually doing what they could do, like Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer was doing really good, and it was on track. And ignore that. Don't look at it. Fuck, it's already messing with me. So Snowpiercer, I really liked it, even though each season got a little bit more progressively unhinged and the writing got progressively lazier. I still love the hell out of that show. I love what the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, TV shows and shit. It's just interesting to me, It's like, one thing that I know that I might be biased towards the shows that I like and the entertainment that I like, and it sucks to not see those shows get renewed when they're really good. What was it? 1890, 1899. What was it? I can't remember. It's like 1890, whatever. It's this show. I don't want to spoil like the ultimate big thing about it, but it's a show on Netflix that's really, really good. It's from the people that did Dark, right? And it's like, because Dark I loved, and Dark was like this nice, cohesive thing of 3 seasons. I'm glad it was 3 seasons because it kind of, it accomplished what it was trying to accomplish, and it didn't need to get extended. It didn't need more. This other show got 1 season, and it's like, I would love to see the metrics because, once again, this is a very well thought out, thought-provoking show. On the flip, look at, what was it? Outer Range on Amazon. I really liked it. I thought it was great. And then season 2 came out. Watch season 2. I'm like, dude, this is great. I can't wait for more. And then after they released season 2, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's canceled. Okay. But what? We get like 10 sequels to The Kissing Booth and to All the Boys I Ever... Like, we get like so... Like, and I understand from the money angle, that those particular shows are super cheap to make. You can screw all the people involved, so you don't have to give them a really good deal on what they do. And it makes Netflix a ton of money because it's very easily digestible, and more people will watch fucking brain rot like that than will actually care to sit down and watch something that actually makes them contemplate like existential existence or whatever. Or I'm sorry. How about Brain Rat? All you see is your pet rat being your videographer and expert therapist. Anyway, dude, it's like you keep like pushing this fucking reset button on my brain. I'm trying to make sense of it. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm. Well, what am I sorry for? I'm just feeling not off today. I'm getting used to my new meds. I have a dentist appointment up at the VA. I gotta go to today, so looking forward to that. Yeah, but I've been feeling a little. Each day that goes by, I feel physically weird. I do need to go see my primary care physician. Not going to get into the weeds on that, but yeah, there's been some issues. But otherwise, I think I'm doing all right. I woke up and laid in bed. And now I'm here. And, you know, took me a while to, finally leave the house, make sure the boys were settled before coming out here. So it's like, yeah, my goal of doing this early is great, but that also requires me to go to bed early, which is really hard because I'm kind of like an insomniac. So I think it's kind of been good for my sleep cycles. I mean, since I decided to start, hey, screw it, I'll try to do this thing where I stream early. Each day it's getting progressively later, but, I think it's ultimately doing some pretty good for me because I am going to bed a lot sooner than I did before. So, regardless of what happens with the stream itself, I do think that it's having an initial positive outcome as kind of, as days go on. So I'll take the win for what it is. God, when you get 80 chatters in the morning and it's like, well, my thing, it's like I'm just doing this for social reasons. I'm not doing it for fucking clout. I mean, trust me, I say some pretty out-of-pocket stuff. So how many friends am I really gonna make? There's not a lot of people that are gonna look at me as the most pleasant person in the world. Also, I'm not really an expert in anything. So, like, let's be real, there's not really much of a reason to watch me because we're just shooting the shit. Well, anything. I mean, I was having discussions with myself mostly just kind of about this perception of people flocking to the Chinese version of TikTok, and it's going to be interesting from the Chinese perspective to see all this dog shit, all this really poor quality American content that's going to be filling their feeds. In addition, colleagues expect far less than true friends. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense. I have a relatively small circle of friends, like close people. I don't have any quote-unquote colleagues, as it were, which I think I should. But, like, prime example, like, I write. That's what I do, right? And, for people that write, one of a big pieces of advice, is to not necessarily collaborate, but to work with other writers, swap your stories, give each other, like, tips or whatever, like oh, let me check it out. Like, oh yeah, I like it. Maybe you can go this direction, that direction. I don't care, but like that's just my take. But so far, what you've written's good. You need to learn how to spell. Here's your book back. Here's mine. You think it's crap too? Wonderful. High five, buddy. Like, one of those group things. Black coffee is superior to all other forms of coffee. Bro, let's talk about that. No. I mean, not for me, dude. I need to have some taste. At the same time, though, it's just some milk. Like, I lighten it up a little bit. It's too strong, too bitter for me for straight black. So, yeah. But at the same time, though, let me say it like this. I would rather drink pure black coffee than whatever Starbucks milkshake. And don't get me wrong, I've had those. They're tasty, they're good, but they're ultimately dog shit, Because like 1,000 calories in a single drink, whereas black coffee has none. So, black coffee is, I would say, overall superior towards whatever Starbucks milkshakes. Here's your first collie, Ernest Hemingway says, baby balls for But yeah, so I don't work well with others. That's essentially why it's always been difficult for me to be a part of these like writing groups, because everyone wants to like focus on their own work, as opposed to like circle around the groups or whatever, and people defend their own work very heavily while trashing other people's work. Yeah. So, but me though, it's like I know I'm not the best writer in the world. I think Starbucks support Israel, not Palestine, but I'm not sure. Corporations are going to support wherever the fucking money goes. Like, that's the thing. They could say whatever they want, but look at their books. Where are they funneling money? Where are they prioritizing their profits? That's why you can't believe anything that corporations say. These are the same people that all throughout Pride Month in June, it's like, yay for gay, and they have like all the rainbow stuff, right? And they're super strong advocates for LGBTQ plus elemental P, right? The moment June is over with, they act like that doesn't exist. They make products that emphasize LGBTQ plus, but then they jack up the price because it's like, oh yeah, these suckers will pay for it because they're supporting LGBTQ. So corporations take advantage of everybody. They take whatever situation and opportunity they can to monetize. And I've always felt that that's disgusting. Not to mention the fact that if you look at these corporations and their Twitters, look at their regional Twitters. During Pride Month, you see that in regions of the world that they have like their social medias, they don't do none of the pro-gay stuff, the pro-trans stuff, the pro... whatever. They don't do any of that because they know that in those markets it will hurt them. But they primarily do it in Western, places because, we're a lot more progressive and we're a lot more accepting of that. You've done this for over 6 years is impressive to me, at least a stranger. What have I done for over 6 years? I will say this. I did, back in, what was it? Because I've always streamed in my life, but there was an era, because it was always like this. It was just but there was a time where I took it a little bit more seriously. And, that was bittersweet because I crafted a following, which was great, but, the concept I'll argue with anyone about anything? Yeah. It actually came from a meme I saw. It was someone... it was someone sitting on like a bench with a sign or whatever. It was just a meme. I'm like, oh, that'd be a great live stream or whatever. And like as a joke, I made a Fiverr account that basically the idea was like, hey, if you want, like I'll take a video and send it to whoever you want, basically telling them why they're wrong. That never kicked off. But but then I was just live streaming, and it's a little bit different now because I will argue with anyone about anything, but unfortunately, most people come in and they just want to do like a gotcha moment, and it's like, But back in I would consider the heyday. We've been doing this, far longer than all your challengers. True? No. Think about it. Like, essentially what this is it's just the same thing that, like, what does Destiny do and Hassan and all those fucking political idiots. You know, the political commentarists, the people that just sit in front of their computer all day and they think that they know everything about the economy and politics because they have the internet in front of them. The internet's a wonderful tool, but like, you know, like you have information, but you're not really an expert in this. You're just regurgitating shit that you see online, but you specifically regurgitate the things that support your argument. And I think one of the biggest parts of a discussion and having any kind of argument or debate or whatever the hell is you got to have like an opportunity for both sides to present themselves properly. This is merely a request for context on attack. Do you have a stick nearby? I wouldn't. What? I wouldn't consider that an attack. A stick. Kids usually bring back sticks from the park, so fucking disgusting there. Unfortunately, I do not. Even a dowel makes your no idea what that means, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, back in the day we had some really good arguments. I did realize that back in the heyday when we did this on Twitch. And we would, we'd get about anywhere from 20 to 30 chatters for a 4-hour period, which to me I really liked because I could hyper focus on just the few people in the chat, so it wouldn't get too wild. We would bring people on Discord, we would have conversations, and then there was the time I got raided, and I realized that, wow, I don't do well in front of mass amounts of people. It's a very exclusive group out of, 8 billion back then. Yeah. So, I remember when I got raided, it was a really big wake-up call because I had no idea how do I act? How do I respond? And you gotta remember, that was a time period where I was really, really, really struggling financially, and I was trying to take the content creation a little bit more serious, at least on the streaming side of things, because that's really what I, had time for. Yeah. So, I don't know, I panicked, and I was a bit too much, and, oh well, it's like, I had like hundreds of people, the chat was going crazy, and they had my Discord, and then the next thing you know, they go into my Discord, and because I don't have my Discord set up for hundreds of people, and hell, I barely know how to use Discord as it is. They come in my server, start spamming all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it was a rough experience, and like that was around the time I started streaming less and less and less, and gladly it was just that one raid. There was another raid I was a part of, and that one was different because it was a content. It was a guy. What was his name? Pixel Cat or something. But basically, he just goes and raids people and does funny stuff. And yeah, there was the video of that, and I thought that was really funny. But even in that video, you can kind of see like I'm so epically like I don't know how to handle having that much attention all at once, because I feel like I have to give it to everybody. For all your speculative fiction, you should do a short story detail on your post-raid feelings. It's like whatever. I mean, trust me, getting that level of attention, it definitely has like a dopamine increase. But at the same time, it's like not everyone handles it well. Not everyone takes that opportunity to kind of put their best foot forward. Even Frank and the Imp find this story compelling. Nah, it's like it is what it is because it happened so long ago, and I do like this just talking because like there's a crazy loneliness epidemic in the world, right? And it's really kind of important that we like have some sort of connection with one another. And I consider myself very, very lucky to have my family, to have the missus, all that. But, I still want to be able to have adult conversations, which is really hard around like little kids. Okay, pretend you're talking to me in the camera when suddenly Frank becomes your car and the amp is. What? Like I have to act? No. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Frank, man. Frank is something else, dude. I'm still working on Canto 2, but it's like in progress because I'm, like I said, I'm still hyper fixating on Shelter Part 2, which I'm kind of glad that I'm not going to get into that. Oh, another thing. So, AI is a helpful tool. I like it when it's being utilized as a tool, but too many people want to use it as a complete and utter replacement. Me, I'm lazy. So I used Opus Clips to make some clips for my stream, and I made some shorts out of them. And I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that, because the way the AI does it, it picks out decent enough. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not the best. But it does it well enough. Will you be open to streaming a conversation with Meta AI? I mean, I'll stream a conversation in anything, but I don't like. See, I don't like. I'm not as big a fan of the large language models. Like, I like Copilot, but actually, Copilot a year ago I liked more than Copilot now, if that makes sense. I'm assuming that this version of Copilot's better than what it was, but it's gotten to the point where I don't even use it anymore because it's just not the same. I think back when I was working on Demon in a Bottle, there's a lot of things that Copilot really helped with, because a lot of the imagery and some of lore stuff, it has a lot to do with hell, it has a lot to do with the occult, and I primarily write post-apocalyptic, so it's a different avenue for me. So it's really nice to kind of, to just like talk to the AI, have it give me like very quickly condensed information. Like, so yeah, I could go back and read Dante's Inferno again, but could I just get a summary of it? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What's up?
I was just gonna sit there with you.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, I think I'm gonna head out. You wanna like play a game together or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. All right. Yeah, this is the new priority. I had fun here. Thank you for chit-chatting with me this morning. It's okay, bud. Let's get ready. As always, I'm Mirosol Glorious, beloved Maze Valor, signing off. Oh, go get the iPhone charger so we can charge it while we play. Or did you want to play something else?
I want to play Fortnite.
Yeah. Go get the charger and your controller and a jacket.